welcome to another episode here at the Batter's Box, brought to you by Brotherhood Sports Apparel. I'm joined in by none other Trevor Thompson from Brotherhood Sports Apparel. Trevor, how you doing, sir?
Michael, always good to see you, sir.
Great seeing you.
I appreciate you having me this evening and pouring me a little spirit here. But to have me in and talking about ball, I'm looking forward to it. So I saw a Slickers deal and it was well put together, and so I'm glad I could be here for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and hopefully, we're able to do more of these, especially with either more guests as well as we maybe, and I'm going to tease it a little bit, maybe having some interviews out of state as well. So that'll be something to come in the future. But tell me, I mean, Brotherhood Sports Apparel, obviously, it's your baby. I'm interested because I think I know a little bit about the history and the backstory, but I know not everyone does. So, how did you get involved? Where are the initial roots or starting point for Brotherhood Sports Apparel?
Sure. So I think I take a little bit of a different path than most people, right? Because most of you guys who are playing ball come through maybe want to play JUCO level, next level once you come out of high school. My goal from the get go was to just play softball from jump. As soon as I could play men's slow pitch, I wanted to play men's slow pitch. Uh, my uncle was a Hall of Famer. My dad was a world police champ. So, like, I was the kid that was sitting on the second tier at Softball City, just like waiting to go. So, 15, 16 years old. Now I'm old enough to at least look old enough to play. Well, I'm going to take my team of sophomore juniors in high school and go out to Softball City and play against these grown men. So, um, I got into playing league ball against, a bunch of guys that cut their name in the game before. Uh, my buddies didn't have anybody to organize a team, so I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's my job. Um, and then we grow older and Liberty comes into play, and we start playing league ball out there, and we have success. We're league ball legends. We're winning games. And then you start meeting different people, and that's really the name of the game is the community, is the people that you meet because I had no idea that tournament softball even existed. The guy that came onto our team, you know him, Tom Merker, he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, why don't you guys try your hand at this?" And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." But I remember hearing people talk about worlds. We're going to worlds. We're going to Florida. And I'm like, I don't know what the heck this is, but it sounds fun. So, like a year of mulling this around of playing league ball and whatnot, we're like, all right, well, let's try this, right?
Mhm.
And so we get we get in a qualifier, our very first tournament. It's in Madison Heights, and we win. And we're like, oh well, this ain't that hard.
It's not that hard.
Now, mind you, we wouldn't win for like another, you know, 4 or 5 years at that point. But at that point, we were living in our glory, and we thought we could at least do it.
Mhm.
And so we made a shot and made a try at it, and it wasn't pretty. I remember playing against you in the lower levels where
Mhm.
we got our teeth kicked in a lot.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was even looking the other day, like at my U trip profile for whatever reason, and I have a losing record on there, which I think some of the old heads probably wouldn't be surprised at that, but for me, I expected it, and
Mhm.
it's because we didn't have the greatest teams for the first handful of years, but we had so much fun.
Right.
And so those guys that you built those roots with league ball, and then you get in on the tournament scene, you start refining things. So, um, that's really where it starts at. And then once you make that transition from league ball to tournament ball, and you're not just giving up Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, whatever night you're playing, subbing. Now it's Saturdays, and okay, so now you've cut your teeth at the lower level. Now it's Sundays because you're making Sundays, or it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday because you're traveling. That's a whole different dedication that, you know, um, a lot of those guys that you start that journey with
Mhm.
aren't built for that and they fall off.
So, like, when you're looking at the overall aspect, you started off with Agent X. Agent X went into tournament ball. You had some success there. Actually, I remember back in the day, Agent X had a handful of really solid years. Um, At least you guys were definitely competitive from that aspect.
We definitely had a lot of fun. I can tell you that. You know, there's little things that stick out. I remember we had Worlds at Liberty. The number one team out of Arizona comes in, ICRC, Ironwood Research Cancer Center, sticks out in my head. I mean, they're killing the West Coast that year. They come into Liberty and it's like 40-degree, Michigan day. It's muddy. It's on the verge of snow. And it's just a regular league night for us because we had
Mhm.
just got done playing in this the night before. And we end up putting it on them. And now everybody's looking at us going, oh, Agent X, Agent X. We were never that good team all year. For some reason, we always put it together during Worlds. I don't know what Worlds magic, but I always went into Worlds knowing I'm probably going to finish at least 500 because I typically haven't,
Mhm.
right? So, um, Worlds is special.
Well, I was gonna say the worlds piece. I mean, talking about worlds, you also were part of a team. You actually managed a team, one together. One of them that made one of the more deeper routes for state of Michigan. If you're looking at from a historical aspect, something that hadn't happened for a few years prior, in first choice, making us a really solid run.
Uh,
So I mean, that was a. I mean, I still remember that how loud that game. You and I both know about the game
the game.
for
And
first choice of probably being one of the loudest games anybody's been able to attend, at least from a Michigan side, in a long time before that.
that game, I want to say we had just come off a game against a team out of New Jersey. I think they were called Showtime, and they were hot. And they had a loud pitcher, and he was in everybody. You could hear him all through. He was one of the guys that you like. He was a polarizing character in the diamond. You're like, you know who that guy is, and uh, and they were sizzling, and we put it on them. And then we came in. I want to say it was an East Coast team, and Michigan had kind of started filtering down, and this is at Disney at the time,
Right, right.
and I mean, the place is packed all the way down the line, loud. Everybody's pulling for us. Well, I remember, being on the field, it's one thing. And I remember all the crap talking going back and forth, and all of a sudden I turn around, there's security everywhere, and I'm like, what is going on here? The one thing you did say that I kind of wanted to touch on, that putting the first choice team together, a lot of people don't know this, but I did not put that team together, and that was put together by the Merrick family. Matt Merrick played shortstop for me that
Mhm.
year. Uh, that that is that team where you make that transition, and that's where I learned that first choice was the Corvette for me, right? And when
Mhm.
I say that is that team was built exactly for what it was supposed to do. Now, did we have that success throughout the year? No, but we were building towards that end goal. The the thing about a team like that is it has to have the perfect characters to build that winning recipe. And what I mean by that is you got to have a couple studs, right? Studs make every team. You got to have that chemistry. That's always the thing that's most important to me is the chemistry, because chemistry can make an average ball player above average with the right people around him,
Mhm.
right?
Talk about when you're because there's I want to kind of highlight something specifically that you were talking about of creating that team, and obviously you said America was able to have a big input, or I guess contributing to actually building that team with that specific tournament being in goal. How when you're if I'm a manager who has that same aspirations in terms of driving toward getting a ring, specifically either in Florida or a major tournament, what am I going to be looking for as a manager early on in the season? Because that doesn't necessarily, you can't necessarily try to develop that late in the season. So, what am I looking for early in the season to start building for those late and deep runs in August and September?
I think before you even get to answering that question, you have to know what kind of coach you want to be. And so a lot of people don't understand me when I say this, but coaching is a whole different thing from learning. So there are coaches who are out there that are strictly those Corvettes. They're built to win. Jason Ayala builds a winner every year, right? He knows how to put the talent in together to grab those pieces from where he needs to build a winner. Rodney Frazier, very successful program. Now, in the opposite lens, I'll give you a coach like Eric Rincon, builds good chemistry, good fundamental guys, good people that you know that you want to sit at a barbecue with and have a laugh with, right? So, what kind of coach do you want to be to get there? Okay, now for me, I knew I didn't have the most talented players, but with that special sauce, you can get them to the next level, right?
Mhm,
So, um, to say it, what are you looking for in there? Well, you got to have your couple key pieces. Let's shoot right up the middle. You got to have a great outfielder, particularly center fielder, right? The guy that can hold his range. Up the middle, so, what do you do without a great shortstop,
mhm,
great middleman off the rip, and then obviously your hurler, right? And I'm going to say this: you got to have two damn good ones, and a lot of people don't understand that. Like, oh, I want to pitch, I want to pitch, I want to pitch. You need two pitchers. You need two pitchers at all times, and there's a lot of times where, again, for me, former pitcher, you're just in a funk. It happens,
mhm,
and it happens in the field too with you. You boot one, you boot one again. What the hell? I've never booted two in a game.
right,
You know, um, so there's times where that pitcher's not going, or your stud for that game got hurt. Now you need the backup. That happened to us with first choice. Our stud for the year, Scotty Showalter, goes down, and I want to say the second or third game of Worlds when we're making the fourth place run in
mhm,
Florida. Scotty goes down in the, yeah, like you said, second or third game, gets a shot off the face, and all of a sudden we got to go to our backup pitcher, and he ends up, rolling the next 3 days. And that is another part of that winning equation is the X factor. Okay, so this all kind of ties to something that James Rippey once told me. Winning is hard. Okay, winning is hard, and with that, you have to have the perfect recipe. You got to have the talent. You got to have the break. You got to have the luck, right? So everything in that equation has to go right to get you
mhm.
to that end result.
Well, if you're looking at the I think you're not alone. I just even just the conversation I've had with other managers in the past, and even especially ones who have had success, uh, building that middle is really critical, and it's brought up left and right of how that is almost your foundation. Is you've got a stud center, middle, or short. I would say both, and then you've got a solid pitcher or two. Now,
I'll take it a step further and add the catcher.
oh, for
Uh, well, well, a lot of
tell me a
people,
little bit more.
a lot of people don't think about that. But who's the guy that's catching for you? It's not the guy that's the best catcher. It's the guy that's raking. And even if he's your best center fielder and you got another good formidable center fielder
Hmm.
out there, that guy's coming in to catch for me because he can catch. Now, a catcher can change a game.
Hmm.
A good catcher can command an entire game himself along with a good tandem of a pitcher. So, um, then you start weighing, one, what level are you playing at? Is that EH worth having someone that can control the game behind the plate? You have a good catcher. I mean, someone that can command the
Hmm.
field like that, it's a game changer. And I often took a very talented position player out of the field to put them in a catcher because they had the smarts to
Field
to
of position,
command the
command the
field. Yeah,
field.
yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense. The thing is, I love that how your from your style, and it's different. I mean, like you said, like there's a lot of different managers have different styles, and your style is definitely you've got a great focus of developing, or not developing, but I guess establishing a great chemistry and knowing who is a good fit and who possibly may not be a great fit to be able to really know how the team's going to be like work as a cohesive unit on the field rather than just hey, top talent, top talent, top talent, I'm going to try to go here and just put it together and hope it works. So talk me through of obviously you've had experience with a lot of people in terms of knowing them from a personal level and that part. Would you say from the chemistry realm, at least from your perspective, what you've seen, do you feel like you can get more out of a team that's got good chemistry, or is it sometimes a negative thing to to focus more heavily on chemistry rather than talent?
There's ways you have to approach it. So first thing is I want accountability out of all my players and responsibility. None of us like showing up for batting practice at 7 a.m. when you got a 9 a.m. draw, but you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there.
Hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, if you're not there, I don't care if you're my middle guy. I'm not playing you because you didn't put in what everybody else put in. So when Joe Stud is also showing up at 7 a.m. because he's just a stand-up dude and he's going to put in the same thing that his teammates do, I expect Joe Scud to also be there, right? So, the accountability thing is number one. You got to have different pieces to make that all. You got to have a character on the team, right?
Mhm,
Everybody knows I had flip car. Like there's no bigger character. Uh, Another guy I had overtime was Rob Hall. Those were two guys that everybody on the team knew when we came into a huddle on the mound. They had the green light to just run their mouth. What I'm getting at is saying is when everybody knows their role. Okay, so now I look at you. I know what to expect from you, Mike.
mhm,
You're going to be there at 7 o'clock. You're my quiet first baseman who's gonna, pop in when I need a hit late and drop one right in through second base. If I know what I'm getting out of you and every single person else knows what they're getting out of you, we're all on the same playing field here at this point,
mhm,
right? So um a stud is not going to be 1,000% all the time. Now, is he going to probably bat 700, 800? Yeah, it's going to be nice, and is it better than the guy batting 600? Of course, but you have to have all those pieces of the fundamental. The accountability is huge. The people that I'm looking for in my team are the people that I want to spend my life with.
mhm,
And what I mean by that is I might not go out and reel off 6 wins on a Saturday. I might be done at 1 o'clock and going back to the house to play horseshoes and drink some beers with my buddies and watch the ball game or
mhm.
the golf game. Um, so I think that's what it is. And if you understand that, hey, this is the team that I'm going to have and enjoy time with, and these are the guys that I want to spend my time with and be on vacation in Florida with, and you take it for what it's worth, then you're going to get what you wanted out of it and out of that team as a whole. But um, if you're building that team that's only built to win, and that success isn't coming, and now you start looking at each other and you're going, "Oh, why is that guy playing? Oh, it, what? I went 8 for 9. I had three. Let me tell you, as working at a Brotherhood tent, I cannot tell you how many people have come up to me and said, "Oh, dude, I don't know why this guy's playing over me. I'm hitting 7 for 8. I haven't made an error in the field." I've heard the story every single weekend. There's a reason that coach is not playing you. Look,
I- We can all be honest.
you might have not been the guy that was there at 7 a.m. for PP. That's why you're not playing. That coach doesn't have to tell you that though.
Right.
And that's what my approach was as a coach. I'm not going to tell you. I expect you to be there and I expect the same out of you as the guy who's not coming out of the field the entire time. I don't I you know, I expect the same from everybody and you set that.
So, like and like with the specifics of the chemistry, I think you hit a little bit key point that, and we started highlighting a little bit of having that great talented roster that you don't really. I mean, if the guys mesh, who cares? Winning will make that team easy to be on, right? Winning will make any team to be easy on. Let's just be honest. Winning cures everything. It's when that team starts incurring adversity and starts not winning, starts running into trouble, and then you find out really where, okay, what's this team made of? I feel like that's where the teams that have already a solid chemistry, they are able to pile drive through that a lot easier. And or when, especially when you go down to Florida and or out of state tournaments and you get also have 15 put on you in the first inning, do you have the right team to be able to go, okay, let's reset, chip away at this? Or do they start imploding and start buckling immediately under the pressure? You can see it so many times in the past with other teams that are newer, get the same type of effect where, oh well, are they going to be able to stay, keep it going when they get the same pressure? Because putting up 15, 20 in the first 2, 3 innings, yeah, well, any team can have success with that, but can you bounce back after? I feel like that's where you get the benefit of the chemistry piece.
I think a team will always emulate its coach, right? Like it's a trickle down. So, am I freaking out? Am I freaking out when I'm down 15 and my guy? What good is it going to do if my guys look down on the bench and I'm screaming my head off, right? Like
Mhm.
it does absolutely nothing for nobody.
Let's talk. Give me a couple moments of as we tie things off. Of you got Brotherhood Sports Apparel.
Yeah.
You've got let's see here. Obviously, that company and yourself has been through a roller coaster of and I just want to touch base a little bit about where you're currently at of how things are going with not only the business and how things are expanding for you, especially after what overcoming what you previously had
Yeah.
gone through.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, right? Like, so I started off, small, just trying to make jerseys, and then I jumped in with to some partners into a situation that didn't pan out to where we're at currently.
Gotcha.
Uh, but yeah, I'm not a crazy religious person, but everything happens for a reason,
Hmm.
and I just gotta think that at this point, this is the way it was supposed to be. Uh, yeah. So after going through the business divorce and having to restart and try to figure all that out, like you guys, most of you know me, and I think that's probably why I have your business is because I'm a regular person, but I'm not a business person.
Hmm.
Like I was a softball player and a poor one at that. So okay, now this is what I'm doing for a living. All right, well, what is what's what's a business plan?
Hmm.
Well, I guess I'll get on YouTube University and figure it out. Uh, what are your profit margins supposed to be? Okay, well, here's a testament to treating people right all over the years. I have to call a guy that I fired and say, "Hey, man, can you teach me how to sell? And what do I do?" But but because I always treated those people right, they've come back to me. And even a step further, a competitor of mine, Justin Grace, I just had to call him the other day and say, "Hey, JG, man, can you help me out with this?"
Hmm.
And that's what you do, right? Because again, we're all regular, normal people, and we're here to help each other out. So those all of it is important. You guys are important, right? Because Mike, even before we came as close as we are today,
Hmm.
there was some point where you're like, man, I like this guy. I want to support him.
Hmm.
And it's not lost on me, right? Because I would do the same for you. And
Right.
I don't know if you're going to clip this out, but what a lot of people don't know is when I went down with my seizure, you were one of the first people there. I was dead in the middle of moving, and you were one of the first people there to move boxes, right? So, um, there's a lot of people that are Kelly Corsetti. She's been a major part. Flip Card, Chris Smith, Steve Bowen, Donnie Jones. Like all these people have been such integral pieces to brotherhood moving forward. Now, those people were with me prior to the business divorce
Hmm.
and maybe weren't treated the best at the time by
Hmm.
for whatever reason. But now I get to take them out to dinner and I get to give them gift cards for Christmas and just say thank you because they don't have to do that to spur on brotherhood. Like, dude, I have another job. Like, I,
Right.
I don't like if Jersey stops selling tomorrow, then I've I've literally sat with you and said, what am I going to do?
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. So, I think to say where this business is crescendoed to at this point is, you know, I I keep working hard. It's not easy.
Hmm.
I learn something new every day. But I think what makes me different from everybody else is that I'm going to treat you right and I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be transparent with you. Now, I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm going to treat you right because that's how I wanted to be treated.
Hmm.
And trust me, eating shit is not fun. But like I said before, sometimes you got to be a buffalo and go head into the storm, and maybe you're going to lose a little sleep, but you have to do things the right way. You got to do it the right way.
I mean, I think that especially for being able to go through the diversity that you have, it speaks volumes on your character, and then I definitely continue to wish you the best. And it's great to see you also get moving beyond that the business divorcing and be able to move on and continue to still have success from that part. I do want to ask of what does Brotherhood have coming up, either planned or is there anything like from the new product wise or system wise that you have planned in the future coming up either in 25 or beyond?
Yeah, I think the big thing we started really rolling last year was the team store stuff, which it seems like a lot of teams have, especially slow pitch teams, have taken advantage of that. Uh, Come in, you give us your logos, we pump your stuff out on a bunch of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, whatever it might be. So that was great for last year, and it was cool when we started it, but we really had to refine and revise and get it good, right? And now we're at a point where, hey, 2 weeks and we're cooking. The thing that I think is the biggest thing, and this is a testament to Flip because he put a lot of work into this, and so this is what I say: people support me with nothing to gain. Um, Football.
Hmm.
And so, in a sport that I personally never participated in, I don't understand. I don't know necessarily the clothes behind it. Um, I do know that for business, it's exponential, right? And so, obviously, that's good. Anytime you can get something that where you can make one sell and it's a large sale. So I'm really looking forward to. We've been working on the football stuff for like 4.5 months, to be honest with
Wow.
you. Um, and I actually think we're gonna roll out the beta tomorrow. So other than that, like I said, I'm really happy with where football's at. I've been kind of working on some hat stuff. But yeah, between football and our team store stuff, I think we're setting ourselves up in a really good situation. Uh Banners and corporate wear has been sizzling too. So
Oh, sweet.
trying to diversify that platform,
Yeah.
and just try to help people with what they need.
How about if I've got a team that's watching or a player that's watching? Obviously, Mojo's coming around, and I know that we're kind of getting into the point where we may be a little too late for that. But if we need jerseys as soon as possible, even beyond Mojo, or we're looking for to still get our team suited up,
Yeah.
who are they? Excuse me. Who are they supposed to reach out to or talk
Me.
to? Or
So other sports. Um, you know what? Like most of our listeners here are local. So I'm just gonna say it to you guys directly. Why you're going anywhere else other than what we have here locally is a poor decision because between all the people that are here in our state, we have if you don't want to deal with me, that's fine. We have great selections other than me. So I don't, if you guys are trying to chase that extra $5 and you're throwing a whim out on some guy that's out in BFE you've never talked to, but he makes cool mocks, stop posting mocks. Jersey companies, Jersey companies, please stop posting mocks. Post your finished products. Nobody cares about your mocks. Nobody cares about artwork. We can all make artwork. I'll make you 10,000 mocks by tomorrow. Stop posting mocks. It's these coaches. So again, you want all right. All right. We're excited about our team. We need a Facebook cover. Trevor, can you help me? Yes, I would much rather help you than this Microsoft Paint that you're putting up. you know, but yeah, no. So the jersey, oh god, just stop doing the jersey mocks. And I haven't seen Astro Stripes in a while. So
but if they're looking for a contact, who they reach out to?
yeah.
What website are they going to?
So you can reach out to us, Brotherhood at brotherhoodsports.com. There's plenty of reps for us. Kelly has been killing it, Kelly Corsetti. So you can reach out to her. Flip Car's another one. Mike, he's Fringe helps me here. So
That's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
fringe. All right, I definitely would
when
recommend you reach out
when
to
I'm
him.
in deep shit, Mike helps me out. Yeah, but like I said, you can reach out to us directly through our Facebook page, through our website, brotherhoodsports.com. You can reach out to Kelly, reach out to Flip, reach out to Donnie. Donnie's downriver. So all those guys can get you headed in the right direction. I can't tell you I'm better or worse than anybody, but I'm gonna do what I promised you I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it the right way.
We appreciate that. Trevor, that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I truly appreciate it. If you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you tune in to Off the Bench Live on their YouTube page. Also check us out on Facebook where we have more than a plentiful amount of content from live game streams, also live shows that will be coming up as the season progresses. More or less, we'll have more interviews coming in later on this year before Myrtle Beach, as well as before Mojo and for the upcoming year. Outside of that, this is Shot Mike. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.